Iyaqhubeka-ke i-media briefing ye-MK Party lapho-ke uFloyd Shivambu okuyena okhulumayo njengamanje. Ake simuzwe-ke ukuthi ngabe uthini.
Documents in the life of the organization. The National High Command adopted the constitution which will be published from today in the website of Umkhonto weSizwe Party. And it sets clear aims and objectives, values and principles, and establishes all the leadership structures of the organization. We will give key highlights of the constitution in this statement and read out some of the critical components of the constitution: the preamble, the aims and objectives, the section on membership, the section on duties and obligations of members. And of course, we'll then speak to what are the integral parts and organizations that form the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. The constitution of Umkhonto weSizwe Party also includes the code of disciplinary conduct and the minimum standards and code of conduct for all public representatives. The meeting of the National High Command also adopted a framework on the absorption of policy and research staff members, and a broad framework on how policies of Umkhonto weSizwe will be organically generated towards a policy conference. The policy development process is grounded on the people's mandate and the adopted constitution of Umkhonto weSizwe. The key emphasis is that our policies are aimed at total liberation and freedom for our people. The policies of Umkhonto weSizwe seek to realize the broad-based and total liberation of our people from political, economic, social, spatial, cultural, and knowledge or ideological apartheid and all other forms of oppression and exclusion. The National High Command also deployed the national officials and members of the National High Command to provinces, but also constituted committees that are going to support the High Command in fulfilling its responsibilities and obligations. In terms of the deployments to provinces, the Commandant General and President is deployed to the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The Deputy President, Dr. John Fope, is deployed to the province of the Western Cape. The Secretary General, Dr. Sfiso Maseko, is deployed to the provinces of the Free State and the Northern Cape. The Deputy Secretary General, Nombuso Mkhize, is deployed to Mpumalanga province. The National Organizer is deployed to Gauteng province. The National Chairperson, Nkosinathi Hleko, is deployed to the Northwest province. The National Deputy Chairperson, Wilson Mukocho Sibilwane, is deployed to the province of the Eastern Cape. The Treasurer General, Menzima Gubane, is deployed to the province of Limpopo. All other members of the National High Command are deployed to different provinces to do work of the organization. And the Secretary General has communicated to all the lower structures on who is deployed to their province and what will be expected from them. We direct that all structures of the organization at all levels must give maximum respect to the National High Command employees, because we are assured that the national leaders will give maximum respect to all the lower structures. The President and national officials will appoint additional members to the National High Command to guarantee gender parity, geographic spread, and generational mix principles in the collective, which in the National High Command will not exceed 45 additional members. The President will over the next few weeks, start the process of appointing and announcing the provincial conveners and coordinators who will be leaders of provinces on behalf of the organization. And the national officials and the National High Command will also appoint the provincial, regional, and sub-regional detachments. The National High Command also constituted the following committees: the National Disciplinary Committee, the Communications Committee, the Safety and Security Committee, the Economic Transformation Committee, the Social Transformation Committee, the International Relations Committee, and the Governance Committee, and also the Finance Committee. The National Disciplinary Committee is going to be presided by Dr. John Floyd, the Deputy President of the organization. It will also include Dr. Ndiboniswani Tufjumba, General Nompumelelo Desi Chilwano, Bongani Baloyi, Dynamo Tawa, and then 5 external members who are not members of the National High Command, but are members of Umkhonto weSizwe Party. The constitution of Umkhonto weSizwe Party, which is going to be released and published today, the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeals of Umkhonto weSizwe will be the top 8 officials minus the Deputy President and the Secretary General, because they get involved in the prosecutorial and the adjudication process of internal discipline. The Communications Committee of Umkhonto weSizwe Party is chaired and convened by Dr. Tati Mtanti and constituted of Commander Mweti Bila, Gobizizwe Makanya, Mabato Mukauze, Nolitando Shozi, Lungele Makunguzi, and Tlamulo Ndlela. The Safety and Security Committee is convened and chaired by the National Chairperson, Nkosinathi Hleko. It's comprised of Sibusiso Kulu, Julius Nsingwane, Sindim Tembu, Fanuel Manana, Ndumiso Matlala, and Dynamo Tawa. The Economic Transformation Committee is convened by the national organizer and is comprised of Commanders Richard Sileke, Brian Mulif, Siyabonga Gama, Lucky Montana, Mweti Bila, Adil Nchabeling, and Tshepo Mahlangu. The Social Transformation Subcommittee is convened by the Secretary General, Dr. Sfiso Masego. It is comprised also of Jabulani Zimande, Papi Tau, Mandla Sidu, Ndiboniswani Tujumba, Muzin Tingila, Pingi Vilagaza. The International Relations Committee is chaired by the head of presidency, Makasela Mzobo. It's comprised also of Kate Mabizela, Dr. Skumbuzo Bukize, Duduzile Zuma, Andy Len Tam, Wesley Douglas. The Governance Committee of Umkhonto weSizwe Party is convened by the party leader in Parliament, Deputy President, Dr. John Floyd. It's comprised also of Irene Tuvile Namakuli, Mabato Mukauze, Mzwanele Mani, Leon Mbajwa, Bongani Baloyi, Zibulwani Ligege, and Abraham Moye. The Finance Committee is convened and chaired by the Treasurer General, Menzima Gubani. It's comprised of Sibusiso Tulu, Nolutando Shozi, Nomusa Mpojane, Richard Sileke, and then Prince Mokotedi. The offices of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, the national officials and the secretariat are in the process of finalizing the physical offices of the organization and will establish the office before the end of November 2024. The head office of Umkhonto weSizwe Party will have 2 wings, one in Johannesburg in Gauteng province and one in Durban in KwaZulu-Natal province. We'll also establish offices in all the 9 provinces in all the 54 regions of South Africa to increase, harness, and enhance the accessibility of our organization to ordinary members. The membership forms of the organization are accessible from our website, and anyone who wants to join can make the application via the website. And all the data that is going to be provided will be protected and not published publicly. That the MKP public representatives, which are the members of provincial legislatures and members of parliament, will be establishing constituency offices in all corners of South Africa, so as to make sure that they are accessible and represent our people effectively and efficiently. We're an organization of the people and will always be on the ground with the people. The National High Command takes note that there are several parallel structures and leadership formations at all levels of the organization. Such will come to an absolute end once the leadership has been announced at all levels. We will not tolerate insubordination and mutiny, and will isolate elements that seek to destabilize our movement. We call on all members of Umkhonto as a party who join first to avoid and stay away from the demons of gatekeeping and factionalism. There will be several members and leaders who will join Umkhonto as a party and will be assigned leadership responsibilities at all levels. Those who joined first should welcome new members and must not close the gate and feel entitled to leadership responsibilities. We are still at formative stages and we should welcome and embrace all people who join Umkhonto as a party. We command all structures to abide by the decisions of upper structures at any given moment. We are a unitary organization guided, amongst other things, by the principle of democratic centralism. Now, we did say at the beginning that we are going to take members of the media and the membership of Umkhonto through the critical components of the constitution of Umkhonto as a party. Can I take off my cap so that we're able to read that clearly? Now, we're going to circulate the hard copies for those of you who are here, but also will circulate the electronic version. So I'm going to go briefly now through the preamble of the constitution of Umkhonto as a party. It reads as follows: that we, the indigenous people of the African continent, and all people of African ancestry all over the world share the common scars of slavery, colonization, and colonialism, which dispossessed us of our land, natural and economic resources, dignity, heritage, culture, languages, and identity. Since the beginning of slavery and colonialism, all people of African ancestry continue to be on the margins of mainstream economic and social participation and relevance. In South Africa, the black majority and indigenous people were subjected to centuries of colonialism and apartheid, which was manifested through a symbiotic combination of political